Hey there guys, Outlaw Dolphin here, and we're going to continue our Dragon Age Inquisition, and we are continuing in the Fade. We've just completed the Siege of Adamant, now we must escape the very Fade itself, as we fell into the chasm and we opened a rift to save not just us, but our friends and companions as well. And here we are in the Fade. If we were here with Solus, he would tell us the Black City, so close almost to the touch. This is a scarred and deformed state of the Fade that we find ourselves in. We are going to be doing a somewhat detailed... There are two quests as you go through here. One that tells you how to escape the Fade itself, and a second one that appears through some investigation that will allow you to get your hands on some pretty sweet crafting material. We will find it to our right here through this field of wraiths. I would almost call this material that we'll get at the end of this quest to be that of a necessity. If you want to go into the DLCs, using this what's called an essence of perfection. Fears of the Dreamers. The Pilgrim. I came to the Temple of Sacred Ashes with the faithful, ready to help at the conclave. I prayed to the Maker for peace, but the mountains shook and fell and buried me. Alone in the darkness, my legs crushed, I cried in fear of a world with no maker, fading in and out of dreams, of monsters inside the black. Light my final hours, let me go to the Maker without the terrors of darkness confounding me. So we find this dreamer here, suffering from that of the demon that resides here. And here we have a candle. So every fear we find has a solution. This pilgrim, once we place the candle here, so we found one dreamer and we find another fear. He gives us +1 magic. Each one gives you like a plus to something. You'll find a lot of idols to examine too. However, that's a lot of reading. We're only going to be reading the fears of the dreamers that we find, and what I'm actually going to do is prioritize that quest as well, as we see it here. The Fade, fears of the dreamers. Fears torment the dreamers. Find the answers that may calm their fears, so that they may find peace. So we're helping restless spirits find peace. I often thought we were finding easement for mages who are dreaming, who have been sucked into the Fade and are suffering from the fear demon, but these are actually spirits fearing passing on. And you always want to pick up a shadowed viridian crystal, as they're not really a material, they're just practically chests. You will find an awful ton of demons here, and you should. It's the Fade, it's where they live. It's just the fact that we're here is the misdoing here. Here we find a book. Walking the Fade, Frozen Moments. I've read it once before, it's not the most interesting read. Oh, there's more loot on the other side of here. This is perhaps some of the most interesting things you'll find here. Illuvians, which kind of give you the first hint as to what the Fade actually is. and where you actually are. When you know Alluvians from Dragon Age 2 and from what we'll find out later in the game, it very much foreshadows what the Fade actually is. And that's what this game is centered around. It's the telling of what the Fade actually is. I know I'm saying that a lot, but it's the truth. The Fade is so much more than what the first two games would have you believe.
By the Maker. Could that be?
I greet you, Warden. And you, Champion.
Divine Justinia, most holy.
Cassandra.
Is it her, Cassandra?
Cassandra, you knew the Divine. Is this really her?
I don't know. It is said the souls of the dead pass through the Fade and sometimes linger, but we know the spirits lie. Be wary, Inquisitor.
I fear the Divine is indeed dead. It is likely we face a spirit, or a demon.
You think my survival impossible, yet here you stand alive in the Fade yourselves. In truth, proving my existence either way would require time we do not have.
Surely you can understand our concerns and explain what you are.
I am here to help you. You do not remember what happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, Inquisitor.
How do you know my title?
The real Divine would have no way of knowing that I'd been made Inquisitor.
I know, because I have examined memories like yours, stolen by the demon that serves Corypheus. It is the nightmare you forget upon waking. It feeds off memories of fear and darkness, growing fat upon the terror. The false calling that terrified the Wardens into making such grave mistakes? Its work.
I would gladly avenge the insult this nightmare dealt my brethren.
You will have your chance, brave Warden. This place of darkness is its lair.
Why do demons serve Corypheus?
Corypheus seems to have a lot of demons at his disposal. How does he command so many?
I know not how he commands his army of demons. His power may come from the Blight itself, but the nightmare serves willingly. For Corypheus has brought much terror to this world. He was one of the Magisters who unleashed the first Blight upon the world, was he not? Every child's cry as the Archdemon circles. Every dwarf's whimper in the deep roads. The nightmare has fed well.
How do we get home?
Can you help us get out of the Fade?
That is why I found you. When you entered the Fade at Heaven, the demon took a part of you. Before you do anything else, you must recover it. These are your memories, Inquisitor.
Yeah, so defeating each wraith here will then allow you to recover memories. Simple enough. And these memories simply tell you, they show you what happened when you entered the Fade the first time.
Why are you doing this? You, of all people!
Bring forth the sacrifice.
So we remember these tellings when we entered the Temple of Sacred Ashes to close the rift the very first time.
What's going on here?
you of all people refers to the Grey Wardens, not Corypheus, as I first thought when I first played this game.
Why are you doing this? You, of all people!
Keep the sacrifice still.
Someone, help me!
So, your mark did not come from Andraste. It came from the orb Corypheus used in his ritual.
Corypheus intended to rip open the veil, use the anchor to enter the Fade, and throw open the doors of the Black City. Not for the old gods, but for himself. When you disrupted his plan, the orb bestowed the anchor upon you instead.
So it wasn't Andraste.
So this is what? An accident? A random ricochet in the middle of a fight?
And if it was,
If it was, then neither the Maker nor Andraste were in any way involved in this. I'm just...
if you believe in the Maker, then you believe he made this world, and everything in it, including your accident. And if you do not, then nothing has changed. You cannot escape the lair of the nightmare until you regain all that it took from you. You have recovered some of yourself, but now it knows you are here. You must make haste. I will prepare the way ahead.
Something troubles you, Hawk.
Those were Grey Wardens holding the Divine in that vision. Their actions led to her death.
I assumed he had taken their minds, as you have seen him do before. Come, we can argue after we escape this dark place.
Oh, I intend to.
Could that truly have been the most holy?
Justinia was unarmed and unprepared. She could not have defended herself against the creatures of the Fade. Whether this is a kindly spirit or a demon fighting its rival for territory remains to be seen.
And what of the demon she mentioned? This nightmare sounds dangerous.
Sounds like it preys on fear. Stealing people's memories. That's low, even for a demon. Memories make us what we are. A monster that takes them away. I don't want to think about that.
After what it did to my fellow Wardens, I pray we find some way to strike it down.
Now, the one thing I always ask myself in any playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition is why? Oh, why? The Tevinter supremacists do so much in secret, including the summoning of the demons. Why must they? Why must have Corypheus so publicly used Divine Justinia for his ritual? Now, to forego spoiling the ending of a 4-year-old game, a character uses...
We have a visitor.
Hello?
Some foolish little boy comes to steal the fear I kindly lifted from his shoulders. You should have thanked me and left your fear where it lay, forgotten. You think that pain will make you stronger. What fool filled your mind with such drivel? The only one who grows stronger from your fears is me. But you are a guest here in my home, so by all means let me return what you have forgotten.
Note how it uses the voice of Corypheus as though that is also something you fear. Oh god, what was I talking about? It's the idea that, you know, why out of everything does that Corypheus is using Divine Justinia so openly to open the orb, when we see in the end another character will use someone else's soul to unlock greater power. I would firmly believe that Justinia is possessed, or that the divine Justinia that the world knew was already this spirit that we see before us, wanting to use the essence of a powerful spirit or demon to unlock the orb. What have we got here? So we found flowers. Now we need to present the item to the freeholder. Let's investigate. The freeholder. I watched the blight take my land. I had nowhere to go. I tended the fields as I had, even as my flock died and my family sickened. My body racked by pain and chill. I saw too late the poison that had crept into the land. In my fever dreams, the sickness covered this whole world. I wept in fear for the family I killed with my foolish pride. Show me that this world survives. Show me that the poison does not take everything. So we place the flowers of life that present life. We get a +1 to Constitution. There are 5 fears, as you can see, that we must put at ease, and they tend to drift from area to area. However, there are 2 in the same location, which can make it very easy to forget, very easy to miss in actual fact. And I'm trying to listen out for all the dialogue that the fear demon has for us, for our companions. I've heard it all before, but I don't know. I try not to miss dialogue. I try.
What are those things?
There we go. So this is a site we've seen before. Excerpt from a journal. They think they own us. Think they decide whether we live or die. They sit there smug in their armour, ready to cut off our heads for the slightest transgression, as though we don't strive every day to stay sane, to keep demons away. They can't control us any longer. I won't go back to the circle, not ever. I thought about it last night, being back in the tower, their eyes on me, and all of it came back. All the years, head down, don't clench your fingers, be a good mage, be a quiet mage. And I realised I don't want to make peace with the Templars. I want them to burn. I want it so badly that the bed caught fire and wouldn't go out until Evan iced it all over. It's still there inside me. I want them to feel the fear they made me feel. I want them to know what it's like. We're leaving for the conclave in a few hours. If those bastards so much as blink the wrong way, I'll let them see what an apostate looks like. From the Journal of an Unknown Mage. Rage demon. He became possessed, most likely. Okay, so we're just taking this side route here for...
I should be afraid, facing the most powerful members of the Inquisition. What's it like living as an apostate, Vivian? Do you really think you'll reclaim your power in the Circle? At your age?
Not one word.
Once again, Hawk is in danger because of you, Varric. You found the red lyrium. You brought Hawk here.
Just keep talking, Smiley.
It tries, the fear demon, to get underneath the skin of everyone that you bring. Perhaps the most interesting person to bring here is indeed Solus, Blackwall, and Cole, which is a team I could have brought, but in the idea of cycling everyone through, I decided to go against it. As the fear demon will...
Inquisitor is a fraud, Cassandra. Yet more evidence there is no maker, that all your faith has been for naught.
Die in the void, demon.
Faith was in quotes for a reason there. I think it's meant to be that he says that all your faith is proven pointless. Like, there's meant to be more emphasis on it than he gave.
Did you think you mattered, Hawk? Did you think anything you ever did mattered? You couldn't even save your city. How could you expect to strike down a god? You're a failure, and your family died knowing it.
Minor demons. Little fears scurrying to serve the nightmare and feed on its scraps.
And they take the form of spiders. Something so many fear.
Spiders? I see maggots crawling in filth.
This is the Fade, my dears. Demons have no originality. They pluck their shapes from your thoughts.
The nightmare is closer now. It knows you seek escape. With each moment, it grows stronger.
You see yet more evidence of how each people see different fears. When we enter the boss fight, each one of these spiders is actually named, like drowning and darkness and stuff like that. It's actually quite unique. So you see how, let's say, a spider that's got the name drowning approaches one of your companions, and it will stun them or make them fall asleep. It's quite interesting how it works like that. So you kind of see who actually fears drowning.
Go!
Keep running!
I have one more memory here. But before I do that, let's just investigate this gentleman here, the Grey Warden. I joined the Wardens to serve in glory. No blade could touch me, nor any claw pierce my armour. Still, I was fated by joining to die. Alone in the deep roads, the calling in my mind. I sat by the last campfire I would see, allowing myself one last night of terror, and cursed the fate that brought me here. Let it be my choice to have served and died. Let it be nobility rather than the dread and hand of hate. Destroy my destiny, and let this be my decision. So this is a Grey Warden who was to enter the deep roads, or did enter the deep roads, and feared going into the deep roads because that's the calling making him do it. He wanted to believe that going into the deep roads was that of his choice. At least that's my perspective.
Breach back in Haven. That's how I escaped.
The demon!
Keep running!
was you. They thought it was Andraste sending me from the Fade. It was the Divine behind me. And then you... she died.
Yes.
So this creature is simply a spirit.
I think we all knew that was the case, Warden.
I am sorry if I disappoint you.
I don't believe the option that I choose is really here. I believe that the divine Justinia that the world reveres and selects to be a divine is that of somebody much like Flemeth or Solus, someone living who has the living essence of, I forget the word, the elven word for their pantheon, but literally that. I don't believe she's a memory. I don't believe she's her soul. I think this is the divine we're looking at. This spirit is perhaps that of very old, so old to be even that of Solus and Flemeth. But then perhaps you could also view it as how Cole is a spirit of compassion, and how this is a fear demon. I believe that this could be also a spirit or demon of some merit. How Solus will talk of wisdom and will talk of spirits of wisdom and stuff like that, and how pride and despair demons aren't for him, aren't in his memory, aren't in his dreams. I'm probably gonna say, are you her soul? Because it's the closest one that I think is there to my actual belief.
Are you... her? Did you linger here to help me instead of passing on?
If that is the story you wish to tell, it is not a bad one.
What we do know is that the mortal divine perished at the temple, thanks to the Grey Wardens.
As I said, the Grey Wardens responsible for that crime were under the control of Corypheus. We can discuss this further once we return to Adamant.
Yes, Adamant, where the Inquisition faces an army of demons raised by the Wardens.
How dare you judge us? You tore Kirkwall apart and started the Mage Rebellion.
To protect innocent mages, not madmen drunk on blood magic. Even without the influence of Corypheus, the Wardens go too far. They need to be checked.
They're a relic. The days of their usefulness have long since passed.
The Wardens are a risk. Send them away before they cause even more trouble.
I don't know what to tell you. There are a few good ones, but an awful lot of the Wardens I've known went crazy.
It's interesting how even Cassandra talks of sending the Wardens away. I can never choose between the two. I don't know why. No matter which hawk I have, no matter which warden I have, I can't decide between the two.
Sweet Maker, could both of you please shut up? We can argue once we've escaped from the giant fear demon.
Inquisitor.
The nightmare has found us.
Form up.
I'm with you.
So yeah, I'll try locking on to these
Taking the divine.
demons,
At
and
least
you'll see.
our only means
I'll try locking onto these spiders, and you'll see what I mean about the different names that they have. Letter in a child's simple writing. The door is open. Mother said to run. She said the Darkspawn were coming. She wanted me to go. The door is open. It was closed when I left. She said she would be right behind me. She said not to come back no matter what. The lamps are lit all over the village, even during the day, to see through the smoke. Mother should be here by now, but the door is open. I'm going to look inside. Probably not a good idea.
Warden Stroud, how must it feel to devote your whole life to the Wardens, only to watch them fall? Or worse, to know that you were responsible for their destruction? When the next blight comes, will they curse your name?
With the Maker's blessing, we'll end this wretched beast.
There you go, so there's another Illuvian over there, but we found a tarot card. Now I believe the reason we find a tarot card for the Warden is because this tarot card probably says something of fate and destiny. It probably says destiny over fate. He fears fate, but he's following his destiny. Probably wanting to believe that the destiny he's following is something that he forged, and this is not fate tethering his path. Illuvian here, +1 to willpower. What can we examine here? We are here. We have waited. We have slept. We are sundered. We are crippled. We are polluted. We endure. We wait. We have found the dreams again. We will waken. Whispers written in red lyrium. We are here. We have waited. We have slept. We wait. We have found the dreams again. We will awaken. The implications of that is something I believe we won't see until Dragon Age 4.
You fight me. I am your every fear come to life. I am the veiled hand of Corypheus himself. The demon army you fear, I command it. They are bound all through me.
Ah, so if we banish you, we banish the demons. Thank you. Every fear come to life.
So we've got a high road and we have a low road. We're going to go high, first of all. This is the area that will have two fears and two dreamers. You'll find one on each. You'll find one up here and one down below. And this is quite a spectacle we find here. You will always find two pride demons up here, so brace yourself if you're on a much higher difficulty than I am. Just a reminder, I'm not here to make things difficult. We're here for the story and purposes only. Oh. Yeah, cut them both up. There we go, one down. That's the second one down. You can loot both of them for some sweet lightning essence. Now I believe if there is an examine along here, inscribed words, I believe this talks of Dumont. Memories etched in the stone and blood. I made the expected offerings this morning, but the gods remain silent. The priests are frightened. All of Tevinter is frightened. Our gods have led our people for centuries. Now, they have gone still. Are we alone in this world? No better than the savages to the south who beg for guidance from spirits? And what of the strange creatures who come from underground? Like our friends the dwarves, these spawns of the darkness and the plague they carry. Why do our gods not protect us from this? Now the ground shakes. The statue cuts my hand as I fall against it. A great roar sounds. It is massive, shaking the temple market. And I see the silhouette cut the sky. It is a dragon. No, it is Dumat. I have made the offering so many times. His form is as familiar as my own hand. He has returned in glory to destroy these darkspawn, that they threatened us, to lead Tevinter back to an age of glory and wonder. But no. His scales are sickly and molted. His form twisted and corrupt. Like the darkspawn themselves, he opens his great maw and fire bellows forth, igniting the market. The flames rush toward me. What did we do wrong? Memories somehow caught in the blood on an ancient Tevinter statue. A statue, I believe, is a Dumont shrine. That's my theory anyway. And here we have the child. Haven is burdened. Mama cries when I'm not looking. It's cold in the mountains and my feet hurt, but Mama says to hush, that others have it worse. She says monsters named Corypheus came to Haven, and it was only the Maker's blessing that let us escape. I don't feel blessed. The monsters came every night, when I sleep, and I don't want to wake Mama crying again. I miss her. I miss Sir Snort. Sir Snort always kept the monsters away in my dreams. This is indeed a child, as we will find. We'll look at that in a moment. Stuffed animal. So Sir Snort is a stuffed, snuggly nug. +1 to willpower. All of these little +1s, they help in stats and all the little things that you don't really look at. All the things that don't really seem to matter all that much. Let's investigate this. And oh my god, I've never done this. What am I doing? No? Oh wow. How many options is there? Aha, that appears to be... So that's 1. Nope. I want to do this. I've not done this before. 2. Nope. Well, the more we figure out, the less we'll get it wrong. Everybody, please move. Nope. 1. 2. Is it the middle? It is. Nope. The end. And there we go. Loot. Superb ring of sundering. Huh. Huh. I never did that. Learn something new every day. We're not actually going to go that way. We're going to double back on ourselves and we're going to go back the way we came. Just so that we can get a good look at the area beneath us. Almost as interesting as the area up here. But I believe it's more interesting for some of the... for some of what it shows. Something to just kind of... I can't really explain as to why we find what we find. It's like little graves with people's names on it. Particularly that...
Float whenever they feel like it here. Wonder what's up there. Or Maybe it's best we never find out.
Like, it's like a grave with people's fears on it, each for one companion you have. You bastard. There we go, I think we're good. So we're gonna hang the spirit, the fear that's here. The dreamer is somewhere in the middle. Shouldn't be too hard to spot. There are a few despair demons in this area.
My footing in this place.
There it is, just directly ahead of us. Here we investigate the scholar. When the Darkspawn were new, when the Magisters had just brought them to our world with their sin, I was among the first to call myself a Grey Warden and swear to end the blight that threatened our world. We had seen the Archdemon die from mortal blows, only to rise again from the body of one of its servants. It could not die. I'd searched in vain for some way to kill the beast and save my world. I slept in fear with no solution, knowing only that the blight the Magisters had brought would destroy everything because I could not save it. Show me what must be done to slay the Archdemon. Show me what I need to save my world. And that's somewhere directly ahead of it. Oh, I know exactly where it is. It's in that little area that I was talking about before with the despair demons. I want to kind of avoid that ice ray. Hit you with that. Uh-oh. There we go. Let me get out. There we go. So Blackwall fears himself. Cole fears despair. He is a compassion spirit after all, that makes sense. He fears the exact opposite of what he is. This one is blank. Solus fears dying alone. Sarah fears the nothing. This is what we were talking about on the Storm Coast. The nothing, like it's named, like a void. Dorian, temptation. Cassandra, helplessness. She's full of faith. That also makes sense. Varric fears becoming his parents. I've not met his parents, so we wouldn't know. Vivienne fears irrelevance. This also makes sense, as she is someone who is always in the know. And I think that's it. Ironball should be here, from what I remember. Nothing. Dorian, temptation. Cassandra, helplessness. Ironball fears madness. So this is such a like of becoming Talvashoth, which is something he will talk about to us later through dialogue. Here we find a vial of Darkspawn blood. This is what we will show to the Grey Warden, and to the Grey Warden that fears this area, that has a fear in this area rather. There he is. Place the vial and take +1 to cunning. Not that I need it. There you go. So we've got a few deep stalkers over here, or gibbering horrors as they're actually known. They just look like deep stalkers. The same physical model, and the fact that they drop deep stalker hide. Quite a lot of deep stalker hide as well. Fade touch deep stalker hide. Nice. And a +1 to strength. Now we've completed Fears of the Dreamers. Now we just simply have to retrieve the Dreamer's reward. It's This is something that can be easily missed also, so try not to. Just going to pick up this shadowed Viridian crystal. Getting a lot of expensive items that will do us well to sell to a merchant. Oh yeah, and damn it, the spider left. I need to remember to look at these spiders and see what they're called. There we go, so we have a pride demon on his way down here. We have a despair demon in the distance. It doesn't help that my fireball... It doesn't really help that Stroud is doing nothing. There is a supply cache in front of us, we do not need it. We just need to defend this divine spirit from, you know, maintain barrier strength. Or to dispel the barrier at any means. It does take some time. But now Hawk is doing nothing. We've got quite a lot of wraiths surrounding us, so let's just drum all of them out. All good? There you go, so this is the final area. We're now going to push on into the Fear Demon's domain. Summerstone, 19, and you also notice I picked up 19 Viridian as well.
That will banish the army of demons and exile this cursed creature to the farthest reaches of the Fade.
So you can see here, this is where we pick up our Essence of Perfection, as well as a random piece of loot. Sometimes it's a dagger, sometimes it's another weapon. The Essence of Perfection. It doesn't have much of a description to it, but I'll show you when we get back to Skyhold. It's probably the most incredible thing. Well, probably not the most incredible thing. But it's something you want going into the DLCs.
Great, Hawk. Why not just dare the old gods to try?
Nice. It's like a xenomorph. Something from a Ridley Scott film.
If you would, please tell Liliana. I am sorry. I fell for you too.
Zap. Oh god, hit that critical.
I grow fat on your fear.
Aspect of the Nightmare. Now the fact that this creature is called Aspect of the Nightmare leads me to think that the Fear Demon is still that massive spider. Oh my god. Frames. Vivienne. Where is she?
You are nothing.
There we go, so fire, drowning, blood. You can see all those names. Someone fears blood, someone fears drowning. I often think the drowning is Stroud, as he's always been the one here. All the others change, but Stroud is here. It's either Stroud or Hawk that fears drowning. All the others have changed. I believe Varric is perhaps fire. And Vivienne is blood, I believe, because she seems to despise blood magic. Oh, 5,000 damage. Not even a critical. There you go, drowning. Got any others? Apostates, that's definitely Vivienne. Unless these fears are incredibly indirect, in which case this is just all the fears it's taken from everybody. I'm going to Mark of the Rift him at some point.
You cannot stand against me.
Perhaps right now. Because we're surrounded by the demons as well. Yeah, I believe our aspect of the nightmare has teleported somewhere else. That's an interesting glitch.
We can do it!
You will die in agony.
Oh, there we go.
We need to clear a path! Go! I'll cover you.
No, you were right. The Grey Wardens caused this. A warden must...
A warden must help them rebuild. That's your job. Corypheus is mine.
Hardest decision in the entire game. But I believe that this is meant to be hard and easy in so many different ways. One, you played as Hawke for an entire game, so people love Hawke. You don't want Hawke to die. Or you didn't really like Hawke, but you've come to enjoy Varric over 2 games, and you don't want to break his heart. And I kind of get the feeling that Stroud is here in the default to kind of be the scapegoat, because I know you can either have Alistair or turn Loghain from Origins be the Warden in Inquisition, which would then make the decision harder. To me, this is fairly simple because I can't break Varric's heart, man. You can't break that man's heart. I'm sorry, Stroud, and I apologise to all the Grey Wardens out there.
Stroud. Inquisitor, it has been an honor. For the Warden!
She was right. Without the nightmare to control them, the mages are free. And Corypheus loses his demon army. Though as far as they're all concerned, the Inquisitor broke the spell with the blessing of the Maker.
No, I will tell them the truth.
Once they understand what really happened,
Honestly, after all the death they've seen, perhaps it would be better to let them believe the legend.
Inquisitor, the Archdemon flew off as soon as you disappeared. The Venatori Magister is unconscious but alive. Cullen thought you might wish to deal with him yourself. As for the Wardens, those who weren't corrupted helped us fight the demons. We stand ready to help make up for Clarel's tragic mistake. Where is Stroud?
Dead.
He didn't make it.
Inquisitor, we have no one left of any significant rank. What do we do now?
You'll help the Inquisition.
You stay and do whatever you can to help. You're still vulnerable to Corypheus, and possibly his Venatori, but there are plenty of demons that need killing.
After all that, you give them yet another chance?
Are you flinging these fools at demons now, my dear? Couldn't you just use rocks?
While they do that, I'll inform the wardens at Weishaupt what's happened. Best they not get caught off guard.
Thank you, your worship. We will not fail you.
Good luck, Inquisitor. It's been an honor. And take care of Varric for me.
Hawk sent me one final report. He's on his way to Weishaupt. As for the Grey Wardens, they are fighting demons and Red Templars while staying clear of Venatori. You dealt Corypheus a significant blow, Inquisitor.
I would hope so.
At the time, it felt like a lot of running and escaping.
Either way, Corypheus lost the army he would have used to conquer Thedas. You took an army from Corypheus, but that will matter little if Orlais falls into chaos. All arrangements have been made for the ball in Halam Shiral. Let us know when you are ready to proceed.
What are our plans there?
Remind me what we know about the plot against Selim.
The Venatori are planning some kind of attack on the Imperial Court. Corypheus may even be fueling the conflict between the Empress and her cousin, Grand Duke Gaspard. If we warn Selim, she may prove a most valuable ally against Corypheus.
I have things to do first.
I'll go as soon as I am able.
Good. Cullen, Josephine and I will discuss the best way to gain an audience with the Empress. Speak with us when you are ready. What was she like? Divine Justinia, or her soul, or the spirit that took her form. I read your report. I know it isn't clear, but...
She was at peace.
She seemed calm, serene even, and she guided us the whole way through.
That does sound like her.
She did ask me to tell you something, though. She said, "I'm sorry. I failed you too."
Oh. I should finish this before it slips my mind. Perhaps later we might discuss the matter further. Thank you.
And that we acquire a Master Corrupting Rune as a reward for the quest. And we are right now going to do the round almost, on dialogue. Beginning with Dorian.
I'm told you have Alexius researching magic for you. Research is always what made him happiest. Perhaps I'll even go talk to him eventually. One word of advice. If he suggests altering time as a way to solve all your problems, give it a pass.
Your father has sent a letter, Dorian.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father? I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter.
I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical.
I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
Would he do that?
You think your father would actually do that?
No, although I wouldn't put it past him. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with the message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
What's the issue between you?
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. We've never talked about my family before. They're not happy with my choices, you see. Nor I theirs.
What choices? Leaving Savinter?
That too.
Let's go.
Let's go meet this retainer then.
I wonder how much my father paid this man to wait around just in case I showed.
We'll find out soon enough.
And do I have some more? There we go.
You have remarkably little here on early Tevinter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda. But if you want 20 volumes on whether Divine Galatea took a shit on Sunday, this is evidently the place to find it.
Such a critic.
That's the Dorian I know, critiquing every book in my library.
I wouldn't have to, if you could find some rebellious heretic archivist to join the cause.
Are there rebellious archivists? Other than you, that is.
If Corypheus ever starts burning masterworks of literature, I'm sure a few will pop up. Did I see something by Genitive here? I could have sworn.
What is this about, Dorian?
When everyone returned, they told us about your tumble into the Abyssal Rift.
You went into the Fade. Physically went in. Are you... all right?
We lost Stroud.
Stroud is gone.
The Fade is an ordeal under normal circumstances. To be the only real thing there, beyond description. That you made it out at all is a miracle. You do realize this feat hasn't been performed in over 1,000 years. Corypheus and his contemporaries entered the Fade and began the Blights. In comparison,
I should be proud. I was lucky.
You're right. I was fortunate.
indeed. Although there is cause for concern. If you can walk in the Fade, others will try to follow. Who knows what secrets Corypheus has revealed? Not all of them will be as lucky as you. What they could unleash. My advice? Keep this quiet. Let them speculate. Too many will see this as a challenge.
I agree.
That's a good idea.
There are enough idiots in the world who think if they just use enough blood magic, their problems will vanish. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to stop back home. This I don't need. What I do need is a copy of the Liberalum. I'll wager I can find Corypheus' real name. If I can prove he was a grasping ankle-biter with no family to speak of, the luster would come right off. Wish me luck.
You do get that as a operation on the table to find that book he's looking for.
Do you require any assistance? Yes?
Vivienne rarely has any dialogue for you, which is possibly why she is the most disliked companion in Dragon Age Inquisition. So it's just voiced by Indira Varma, who is amazing, but so much little to bring this character to life, apart from the conversations she has out and about in the world. Solus will definitely have something for us to say.
I cannot believe the Grey Wardens could even conceive of such a plan. To seek out these old gods deliberately in some bizarre attempt to preempt the Blight.
They obsess over Darkspawn.
Grey Wardens have always been dangerous. They care for nothing beyond stopping the Darkspawn.
Like a fair maiden chasing a butterfly off a cliff. Except that if you hadn't stopped them, we'd all have fallen. Those fools and duty. Responsibility is not expertise. Action is not inherently superior to inaction. Forgive me. The entire idea is unnerving. The new power you wield. I heard from Cassandra that it is the magic of the Knight Enchanters. If I am not mistaken, the techniques descend from those of ancient elven mages, called arcane warriors. I wonder what they would think to see their magic used in defense of the Chantry.
What were they called?
I doubt they were called arcane warriors in Elven.
The formal name for the techniques you have learned was the Durthena and Nasaline, knowledge that led to victory. Mages who eschewed physical confrontation called it Gilanim Banalva, the path that leads astray.
What do you know of them?
What can you tell me about the arcane warriors?
They were elite guardsmen, serving as bodyguards or champions for nobles, as I understand. Mages who focused on spirits or the Fade might sneer at their physicality, but never doubted their honor. They were the living embodiment of will made manifest, mind shaping the body into the perfect weapon.
They'd be pleased it lived on.
I hope the ancient elven warriors would be pleased to see their techniques survive.
I hope so as well. So much knowledge has been lost. Perhaps having something they created carried forward, even in such a different form, would gratify them. Did you need anything else?
Not for the moment.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
There you go, and you can see we have a quest marker in this room. This is the room where you will start to find Cullen.
Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. They're in full redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
I believe you.
The Red Templars swarming Haven were proof enough.
We cannot allow them to gain strength. The Red Templars still require lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
That's good thinking.
I like finding the Red Templars' vulnerabilities before fighting them head-on.
We'll need every advantage against what courses through their veins. Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded.
There you go, that will give us Before the Dawn, which is a mission to find 3 smuggler letters. That will take us to the Emerald Graves, which I believe will be my next area. It's an area that levels laterally. It's the same level area as the Western Approach, so you won't need to level up much in the Western Approach to survive in the Emerald Graves. I'm going to speak to Varric.
I knew Stroud, you know, not well. He led the Wardens near Kirkwall. Not many people knew who he was, but the man was a hero when it mattered. He wasn't the first good man to fall to Corypheus. He won't be the last. This story's no good for heroes.
We heroes might make it.
Some of us heroes will make it. We're just too amazing to die.
If we're both still standing at the end of all this, I'll buy the drinks. Oh, Hawk asked me to tell everyone back in Kirkwall where he's going. I'll have to let Carver know. I'm sure he'll take it well. I'd better write some letters. Excuse me.
We're literally going to do the rounds and talk to everyone, so we're going to find Blackwall and Cole. First we have Cassandra, who may or may not have quite a bit.
Writing does not come naturally to me, as I'm certain you can imagine.
You're competing with Varric?
Trying to outdo Varric's next literary masterpiece?
I haven't his talent for blather. As if written by a dim-witted child. Historians will one day ask what happened at Adamant Fortress, in the Fade. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. It must be recorded.
That's a good idea.
That's an excellent idea, Cassandra.
It's completely what Dorian said we should do.
Till I started writing.
In fact, it's not. It's the exact opposite.
I still don't know what to say about the spirit of the divine. I saw her there, heard her voice, yet I cannot claim with certainty it was really her. The Chantry teaches us that the souls of the dead pass through the Fade, so it could have been her. Yet even so...
You think it's possible?
Do you really think it might have been her? A ghost?
A ghost. A remnant of her hopes and memories. Her lingering will to do good. Those things are all possible. Nobody knows for certain what happens after we die. A spirit could have assumed her form, but why? It helped you, as Justinia herself would have.
Maybe it doesn't matter.
Perhaps it doesn't matter what she really was then.
It matters to me, to what I must write. I must interpret what I saw, yet I am no priest, no philosopher. I am a warrior.
Okay. I believe it was her.
I believe it was the Divine. She helped us one last time.
I hope that's true. I want to believe it. When I realized we were physically in the Fade, I was terrified, almost beyond reason. The last time such a thing happened, we created Darkspawn. We created Corypheus. The world needs to know the truth this time. No more legends lost to the ages.
Inquisitor, come, have a drink. To killing a high dragon like warriors of legend.
What is this?
What exactly am I supposed to be drinking?
Maras Lok.
What does that mean?
It means drink!
Fine.
Oh. I know, right? Put some chest on your chest. That little gurgle right before it spat fire. And that roar. What I wouldn't give to roar like that. The way the ground shook when it landed. The smell of the fires burning. Tarsidathan Halsam. You know, Kunari hold dragons sacred. Well, as much as we hold anything sacred. Here, your turn.
This conversation is actually something a bit weird. When you talk to Iron Ball the first time you kill a dragon, you get this little celebratory drink. You get this conversation log even when you don't take him to fight a dragon, which is kind of annoying. This should be an exclusive dialogue for when you take Iron Ball to kill a dragon, not when you've killed a dragon and Iron Ball wasn't there and he's kind of celebrating. What was that Kunari phrase?
That thing you just said. You shouted it during the fight, too. What does it mean?
Oh, Tarsidathan Halsam. Closest translation would be, I will bring myself sexual pleasure later, while thinking about this with great respect.
It's very specific.
Well, it was breathing fire at us.
I know, right? Yes, the second cup's easier. Most of the nerves in your throat are dead after the first one. Atashi, the glorious ones. That's our word for them. Atashi.
Why are dragons sacred in the Kunari?
Why do you think the Kunari think of dragons that way?
Well, you know how we have horns. We kind of look more dragony than most people. Maybe it's that. But a few of the Ben Hasrath have this crazy old theory. See, the Tamasrans control who we mate with. They breed us for jobs like you'd breed dogs or horses. What if they mixed in some dragon a long time ago? Maybe drinking the blood, maybe magic, I don't know. But something in that dragon we killed spoke to me.
I'm sorry we had to kill it.
It's a shame we had to kill the dragon.
Damn good fight. Dragons are the embodiment of raw power. But it's all uncontrolled. Savage. So, they need to be destroyed. Taming the wild. Order out of chaos. Have another drink.
And drink.
Nice. To dragons.
To good fights.
To finding the biggest, baddest things in the world and showing them that we're badder.
Anan.
Okie dokie, let's see if Iron Ball has anything else for us.
Again. Again. Come on! This is why the Qun doesn't like women fighting. I should have asked Cullen.
Perhaps you can take over.
Kunari training exercise to master your fear. I heard about the nightmare at Adamant. Sounded big.
What's this?
Can you explain why I'm supposed to hit you with this stick?
Probably, if I try. It'd involve a lot of Kunari words, though. Just hit me with the stick, alright? I need to get over this demon crap.
Okay.
Alright.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Damn demon. Who's stuck in the fade, huh?
That's right. Let it out.
You fought in that siege. Every demon in Adamant wanted to tear you in half.
I bet, you demon assholes! And who killed you? That's right, Iron fucking Bull! I needed that. Thanks, boss.
Not a problem.
Anytime.
Sure. Because that makes all the sense in the world. It actually does make perfect sense. I just think it's odd.
Of course.
Next, Sarah, then Cole, then Blackwall. Or maybe Cole first, because... yeah, Cole first.
No. But you like demons. I enjoy the company of spirits, yes, which is part of why I do not abuse them with bindings. It isn't abuse if I ask. Not always true. Also, I do not practice blood magic.
which renders this entire conversation academic.
He won't bind me. He's a mage and he likes demons, but he won't help.
What's wrong?
Why would you want Solus to bind you?
So I'm safe. If Solus won't do the ritual to bind me, someone else could. Will. Like the Warden mages. And then I'm not me anymore. Rules around what I want. Blocking, bleeding, making me a monster.
That's true for everyone.
A mage using blood magic could conceivably do that to any one of us, human or demon.
You should ask Solus to bind you too. And then someone can bind him.
We'll protect you.
We'll find a way to keep you safe without binding you, Cole.
I have a suggestion, if Cole is ready to listen. I recall stories of amulets used by Raveni seers to protect spirits they summon from rival mages. A spirit, wearing an amulet of the Unbound, was immune to blood magic and binding. It should protect Cole as well. The resources of the Inquisition could be used to find such a talisman.
Good. They will not take me.
There we go, that gives us an operation to find an amulet just like that for Cole. I will go to speak to Cole again, because I do believe I always tend to miss out on a piece of diet. Yeah, see. Look for Cole. I always forget this dialogue exists.
What are you doing?
Listening. Eyes rough, jangling armor hurts my ears, back aching, fingers too clumsy for knots. Wind cool like Aunt Eloise's pond, lips scalded as I sip, warmth blossoms, first kiss in the barn, what was his name? Tin jangle as the blood spills, Pierre's wrapped body on the wagon to the chantry, 5 more minutes, my fault.
Can you help her?
Can you do something for her?
Yes. It's okay. Nothing you did mattered.
What? Who are you?
They lie there, and sometimes they die, just like Pierre. You can't save them.
I don't know who you are.
Wait. That didn't work. Let me try again. You'll forget me in a minute.
Wait, what?
What are you going to do?
Make her forget me. Then do it again, the right way.
Don't do that.
Cole, stop.
Inquisitor, your worship, what are you doing here? Is this man with you?
Yes. Sorry to trouble you.
How do I do it right if I've done it wrong and I can't make her forget?
Just talk. Communicate.
Don't root around inside her head. Treat her like a normal person.
Your worship, is there... Do you need something of me?
You were sad.
Of course I was sad. A man died because I couldn't save him.
It wasn't your fault. You could work until you fell over, and you still wouldn't save everyone.
Thank you for saying that. Excuse me, your worship.
She's not better.
She will be.
She needs time to work through it.
If I'd done it right, it would have worked faster.
Then you have time to work through it too.
I don't understand, but thank you for trying to help.
It's not all about the speed of the healing process. Time heals all wounds. It's just a matter of time before she's fine. You don't have to force it. You don't have to hasten it. It will happen at some point. And Sarah.
Heard what went on in that Fade thing? What you think went on? Can't even start to believe that business.
It was a difficult time.
I think a lot of people are having trouble with what went on there.
People going on about visions and piss when real people are gone. Dead, probably. Stroud, yeah? Lost a serious moustache there. And in trade, a busted down bunch of wardens. And they're always weird. Usually, bad stuff happens first, so you're glad when the hero shows up. But wardens are the wrong way round. They're the good thing that means a bad thing is about to happen. Like in Denerit, when the Blight entered.
What was the Blight like?
It must have been rough living through the Blight.
Someone yells Darkspawn, and then nothing happens for a long time. Then wardens show up and take your stuff. Or, you know, some prick noble takes your stuff because wardens may ask for it. Then you steal it back. So whatever. The first ones in line to screw everyone weren't Darkspawn. That's all I'm saying. Blackwall's nice, though. Different from the Adamant ones. Need more like him. Hey you, I have an Inquisitor favor to ask. Just a little thing, really. A little march around for some of your people. It's nothing for you, right?
I'm listening.
Alright, let's hear what you've got.
Jump right in, huh? I like that. It's a Red Jenny thing. I got a tip that some noble stiffs are arguing over Vershel. Land squabble. They're getting little people beat up. So I need you to go to your big table and send some people to walk through town.
Just walk through?
Just walk through. Easy, right?
I'll have people take a look.
Alright, Sarah. I'll have someone look into it.
It's fun, right? Being important without doing a thing. Well, not much of a thing. Not everything has to be torn skies and ancient arseholes. Every little thing makes a difference somewhere.
There we go. Just Blackwall. I'm going to do the a march for Sarah and send the soldiers to Vershel. Me personally, I'm always convinced on what Sarah does. I think she's funny as hell, and the stuff to do with Red Jennies makes sense in its own way. But I believe Hasting is someone who needs to be convinced by, not by Sarah, but by having Red Jennies at his disposal, or using the information he gains from them. And Blackwall is actually going to be out here. That's the thing, it says his marker is in the barn, so when I go to find him I'm just like, oh, where the fuck is he? He's actually here, he's chopping wood.
Someone I knew once described Adamant to me. Adamant is, and always will be, the Order, he said. A guardian on the edge of the abyss. The lone soul that stares into oblivion and doesn't waver. That's what Warden Commander Clarel tried to be. Well, they all tried to be. I'm told her wardens never wavered. They went to their deaths willingly. They died for us. And Corypheus twisted their sacrifice to make it his own.
That's why we fight him.
And that's why he has to die.
You'll get no argument from me. There's no one to blame but Corypheus. Even Clarel's intentions were righteous. Her desire to protect was so great it led her astray. It's not right. To want to do good, to be good, and have that turned against you.
Then remember the intention.
Don't think of what went wrong. Think of their intentions, their sacrifice. Honor their selflessness.
Clarel made mistakes, but she was a great woman.
and she died a great woman. It's not the armor or the trappings of the Order. It's not the joining. At the heart of it, all a Warden is a promise. To protect others, even at the cost of your own life.
There you go, and just wanted to check if Blackwall has anything else for us.
This is just... it's something to keep their hands busy. I'm grateful you tracked me down when you did. As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is better. It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
What about the Wardens?
The Grey Wardens are huge and important. You're part of that.
True, but without a blight on the horizon, everything the Wardens do feels like waiting. This, the Inquisition, is what matters now. And I'm grateful to be a part of it. You are who you choose to follow. Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
Wise words.
There's wisdom in that.
It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. A true knight. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice before we parted. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I ever thanked him.
What happened?
How did he help you?
There were 100 men on the field, each one fighting for himself. The knight and I had forged an alliance. It was just the two of us, and we took all comers. The goal, down as many opponents as possible. He always let me deliver the final blow.
A generous act.
It was generous of him.
He said I stood to gain everything, while he'd lose nothing. When it was over, he offered to mentor me, to teach me to become a chevalier like him. And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tourney. I didn't need him. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
Not necessarily better.
Different doesn't always mean better.
In this case, I think it would have been better. But I'm older, hopefully wiser. And I think I've chosen the right person to walk with.
There we go, guys. That's the end of that Dragon Age Inquisition, and we just survived the Fade. We lost Stroud in the process. Making a decision, even in a game when I lose somebody, I always take it seriously because, you know, implications on the ending and the next chapter such alike. If you don't quite understand that, then you need to play Mass Effect 2 going on into the third installation, and then you understand, because when I played Mass Effect 2, I didn't really get to know all of the characters, as there were a lot compared to the first one and then the third one. You get bombarded with a lot of companions, and then just when you think you have enough time to get used to them and to work alongside them and to see which ones you like and which ones you don't, you get them all taken away from you. I lost companions in Mass Effect 2 that were really popular. I lost, I think I lost Miranda and Garrus pretty quickly in the madness that followed. As I've said many times in my Mass Effect playthrough, characters like Tali'Zorah and Legion were well written, and I was lucky enough to have them survive going on into the third one. But then you get that heartbreaking scene, and Legion dies, and you know, when you find out that he's probably the most human out of all of you. But then if you choose to side with Legion against Tali'Zorah, then you have an even worse moment with Tali'Zorah, because bearing in mind, if you've played your cards right, the worst thing that can come out of that is that literally both of them die. Legion dies for his ascension, and Talizora takes her own life because of it. Because you've completely gone against her wishes. And it destroys everything that she knows for her race. But, yeah, we lost Stroud, but comparing that to losing Hawk and breaking Varric's heart, it's a decision I'm happy-ish to make. Had that been a different Grey Warden, I'm not too sure. I never really got too attached to the Origins companions. Dragon Age Inquisition for me has the best bunch of companions, apart from a few starlets that are in Mass Effect, but that's a different game in this world. So yeah, our next step will be, obviously we have to go to Halam Shorau at some point to stop the assassination attempt, but our next step for Inquisition will be the Emerald Graves. And I might throw in 2 dragons before that, because we have one in the Hinterlands and one in Crestwood. We will now have the equipment and the level to deal with them. And there is a dragon in the Emerald Graves as well. So I have to consider a few things about doing this. So Emerald Graves, however long that takes me, that's probably going to be a 2-parter. Along those 2 parts could probably have 3 dragons after the first one went so well. I might need to rethink my arsenal, because the dragon in the Hinterlands is the Ferelden Frostback. That's a fire breather. The one in Crestwood is a Storm Drake, and the one in the Emerald Graves is an icy bastard. It's not... The ice dragons are the worst dragons to fight, is all I'm saying. Anyway guys, I will see you on the next one.